Hello, everyone. Welcome to this sacred space. Happy solstice. Happy 12/21. If you feel the call to put your video on so we can all see one another and beautiful. Hello. Welcome. It is such an honor to co-create with you all on this solstice. We have a beautiful ceremony planned for tonight. Can you guys hear me well over the music? Levels are good? Beautiful. We'll get that out of the way. Oh, beautiful. So we'll give everyone a minute or two to join, but feel free to use the chat and share how you're feeling. If you have an intention for this gathering, for this beautiful day, feel free to share so we can all kind of connect in the chat. I love seeing all of your beautiful faces. Oh, so beautiful. We have some more beautiful beings joining, and we'll start in about 2 to 3 minutes. So wherever you are, just allow yourself to get comfy, to settle in, to connect with the breath. Our journey tonight will be very much like nurturing the self, honoring all aspects of the self, because it is on the day of the darkness, where we can really surrender into the depths of the self, so we can honor every fractal, every particle that makes up this beautiful being that is you. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing your intentions and connecting in the chat. We have people from all over the US, North America, the globe. If you feel the call to share where you're tuning in from, please let us know. It's so cool to see how we're all coming in from different parts of the world. And I had this vision when I was setting space earlier today of everyone, lighting their candles in the ceremony and like seeing it from a higher perspective and seeing, we are all candles, we're all beings of light, but seeing the light from each one of us just creating this beautiful energetic web. And just like the candles we light in ceremony, we're going to do that with our light body, with our being, and connect even more to this grid and to our sacred home. We have Indonesia in the house, Russia, Tennessee, Canada, Texas, Ventura, Rhode Island, Idaho, UK, Minnesota, Germany. Oh my goodness. So many places I would love to visit. Well, thank you all for being here. We will begin our journey. So we're gonna do a little journaling, do a little reflection, and then have a more in-depth meditation after we kind of discuss a little bit about the medicine of the darkness. The darkness is very much misunderstood in Western culture, and in culture in general. We tend to focus on the light, but the darkness is where the light is first born. So we will be diving into the womb and the void and all things beautiful. Okay, let me get my screen up. Alrighty. Beautiful. So, welcome everyone. We will officially begin. All right. So, today, 2021 is a very special day. It's the longest day of the year, or as we starseeds like to focus on, the longest night. So we have the most time to communicate with the cosmos and the stars on the solstice in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it is the summer solstice and you have the most light. And what's beautiful about the solstice is it really embeds the yin and the yang dynamic here on Earth. So the summer solstice represents the yang energy, the divine masculine, where the winter solstice represents the yin, the divine feminine, the darkness. So it's beautiful on the solstice to see how we work with polarity here on the earth. So, as many of you may have recalled, last year on the solstice, we had a very, very powerful portal with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. So I wanted to set a little space for just some reflection. 2021 was such a deep year of rebirth, of healing. Like all New Year's, we always have, we set the standards really high, and, Spirit always shows us the medicine that is needed. And for me personally, 2021 was almost like building a platform, or like restructuring. And it wasn't like, I feel like 2022 is very much when we step onto that platform and shine, and things are a little bit more balanced. But 2021 was a little bit of this reconfiguration of energy, of structure, of fluidity in our experiences. So I'd love to just, before we get into all of the magic, to really just sink into the self. I'll guide us in a little meditation. If you feel the call to journal, please tune into the self, what feels the best. And my intention for this portion of this gathering is to really just look back at where you were 1 year ago, the excitement you may have felt on the solstice, the embodiment of your spirituality you felt on the solstice, and kind of seeing how much more embodied you are in your magic now. So wherever you are, taking a deep inhale in, exhaling, releasing. Allowing yourself to drop into this space. Dropping into devotion, into gratitude for all the growth you've endured in this last cycle. Taking an inhale in and feeling into the frequency of you 1 year ago today. Where were you? Paint the picture in your mind's eye. Feel the frequency of you exactly 1 year ago. And whether things may look like they have shifted enormously or have stayed the same, know that the shifts that you make exceed and expand past your perception. So just honoring the expansion that you've embodied in the last year, in all facets of your life, in your spirituality, in your embodiment. And take a moment to truly just place the hands upon the heart and perhaps bow the head, just in deep devotion to the self, telling the self how proud you are of their accomplishments, no matter how big or how small. Saying thank you to the self for showing up every day, for being devoted to growing, to healing, to shining. Saying thank you, I love you, I'm proud of you. Seeing the strength in the self and the way you can dance around life's obstacles, how each instance and experience creates a foundation of your strength, of the highest embodiment of who you truly are. Taking a moment to shed so much gratitude for all of the growth and all of the expansion you've endured in the past year. Breathing deeply, saying thank you to the self, to this incarnation, for holding this consciousness, for being its sacred vessel, and truly feeling into the gift that it is to experience the consciousness that is you. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling, releasing, placing the hands back on the heart, saying thank you. And perhaps if you feel the call to give the self a hug, just nurturing the self in these moments, allowing you to see and honor the self, that no matter the trials and tribulations that we endure, we grow every single day. Beautiful. If anyone feels a call to share in the chat the growth that they are appreciating in themselves from this past year, please do, for we can all connect, because we're all intertwined on this experience together. And a lot of the times we all go through very, very similar things. You know, we are tapped into group consciousness. We are tapped into unity consciousness. And it feels so good to be seen in the growth, in the experience that has transpired over the past year. So feel free to use the chat, and we will talk a little bit about the magic of the darkness. Do we have any Scorpios in the room? Because we're about to get juicy with all things that you love, the darkness. Okay, so So the darkness. So the darkness has been misunderstood, especially in light work, and then especially, just in this healing journey. Sometimes we shy away from our shadows, or we shy away from the dark, focusing on the light, which is beautiful. The light is the fun stuff. The light is the inner child. The light is the excitement. But the darkness is the fertile soil to which we bloom, to which the light can anchor into. So the darkness as an archetype represents the womb. So the space of creation, creation itself. So, in the darkness, all seeds are planted in the darkness. All things, including our galaxy, are seeded in the darkness. And then through creation creates the light. So we cannot honor the light without being in deep devotion to the dark. So the void is where all possibilities exist, where all consciousness kind of coagulates. So it is both everything and nothing. It's kind of the paradox of the archetype of the void, but this exists within the darkness. And the darkness ultimately represents rebirth, ultimately represents just leaving the past behind, bearing yourself anew, surrender, like moving through the wormhole of the self to be reborn. So just like it represents creation, it represents birth or rebirth. So creation is seated in the fertile soil of the darkness. So when we talk about our practices as spiritual beings, shadow work comes up all the time. And this is so important for anchoring in the light that we tap into. So the more shadow work we do, the more we surrender and love our edges or our darkness or our shadows, the more space we create to anchor in the light, to be embodied in the light. So all of the shadows we move through, all of the debris, the human debris is what I call it. So the shame, the guilt, the fear that we kind of just accumulate over our lifetime through, what someone on the street said to us in passing like 5 years ago. We never really thought about it, but like we internalized it somehow. This is like when we move through that and like see it and be like, oh, that happened. I choose for that to be released. That is all creates the fertile soil to which we plant our seeds in. So the more we release and detach from anything that comes into our awareness that rattles us or shakes us, the more fertile the soil is for all of our manifestations. So ultimately, the darkness is the divine feminine. Just like the winter solstice represents the divine feminine, the yin, silence, and alchemy. So the void, while it is the realm of all things, it is extremely silent. Creation exists in silence, So this is, part of the divine feminine archetype and part of the darkness and that we work with as we hone in on our meditation practice. The more we meditate, the more we're comfortable with surrendering into the darkness, surrendering into silence. We live in a world where it is extremely loud. And for all of my psychics in the room, for all my intuitives, which we all are, it's extremely loud. So silence and meditation is so key in balancing the yin and the yang within us. And the darkness is alchemy, right? So the more comfortable we are in the dark, the more we step into our alchemical power. So alchemy is the ability to transmute anything, any substance, frequency, situation into a more beneficial situation, frequency. Back in the olden days, alchemy was transmuting and changing base metals, so like iron, into gold. So the way we can look at alchemy is turning any moment into gold, any situation into gold. And so this is really how we harness into our power as star seeds and as light workers, because we see every opportunity as a way to alchemize it into light, a way to embody and anchor in more light. So nothing can shake you if you see it as an opportunity for alchemy, right? Like you drop, I don't know why this is such a weird example, but like you're at the grocery store and you're dropping all your things. You're like, this is a moment for alchemy. I'm going to make pie from all the dropped apples. So it's just, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, to, put the most cliche into this space. All right. So Ezra said, discovered that I need vows of silence to heal my mind. Love this. Absolutely. It is like, I see the silence as just like a way for our like neuroconnectivity and all of our minds and the wires that create our mind to just like release and to just like reconfigure, recalibrate. So silence and meditation is so powerful in just organizing the mind, clearing the body, restoring all of the energy that we are made up of. So, periods of darkness are a powerful time to nurture the self and to plant seeds for your blossoming. So, like the darkness representing the divine feminine, this time, the winter solstice, is a really powerful time to deepen into all that nurtures you, whether that's baths, whether that's making nourishing meals, whether that's yoga or meditation, really taking time, whether it's today after our ceremony, to hone into the things that really nurture your soul, like that really bring your body, mind, and spirit into a state of homeostasis, whether that's like soup, or it's usually like warm, in the winter is the most nourishing, but it also can be, movement, running, exercise. That could be highly nourishing for those who need a little bit more yang in these times of yin. Sleep, 100%. Sleep is the most nourishing. So on the winter solstice, we can really tune into the self, and it's, we have 2022 on the horizon, which is going to be such a powerful year in numerology. It's 6, and 2021 is a 5, and 5 in tarot is, represents kind of a recalibration, trying to figure out how to balance, how to hold everything that's on your plate. And 6 is kind of like, oh, I figured out like where everything goes and I can hold everything together. So that's what it kind of means in numerology and tarot. And for my personal experience, that's what I'm harnessing in, and that's what I'm feeling into for 2022. So on the solstice, we can utilize this time to look deep within the self and ask the self what aspects of the self are wanting to shine in 2022. These could be neglected aspects of the self, whether it's a gift, whether it's, a hobby that you wanted to pick up, or whether it's, some sort of aspect of you that you want to heal. This is a moment to like tune into the self and ask the self, what aspect of me is waiting to be liberated, is asking to be liberated into the light? Like, what aspect of me is wanting to be seen? So I will give you all just a moment to journal and free write on this journal prompt, and just to get intimate with the self and to be honest with the self. Like, where haven't you allowed yourself to shine? Which aspect of the self have you not allowed to flourish? Tuning in and tuning into the self and seeing if there's any limiting subconscious beliefs that you are ready to let go of, to liberate into the light. Because those, that dialogue that comes in from our subconscious mind is just wanting to be seen. It's just wanting to say, hey, I see that, you know, that was an aspect of you that has long gone. I honor you and I release you. Any subconscious limiting beliefs, any beliefs or fragments of the self that tell you you're not good enough or not perfect or not ready. Know that those are all illusions, that you are always ready, you are always perfect, you're always embodied in your highest self. So let go of any of those limiting beliefs that you want to just take this moment to write down and to liberate into the light, releasing them with love. And whenever you're ready, take a moment to write down this affirmation on perhaps a separate piece of paper in your journal, something to maybe post on your wall, something to like have available. So in 2022, I choose to stand tall in my light and liberate my blank. So this can be an aspect of your multidimensional self. This can be an aspect of this higher version, quote unquote, higher version of you that you are choosing to embody. And take a moment, whether you're still journaling or just tapping into this frequency, take a moment to really feel what that feels like, to liberate this specific aspect of your multidimensional self, the specific aspect of this higher dimension of you. Know that it is already embodied. It is already encoded in your being. It is simply a choice to stand in your power, in the embodiment of this aspect of you. Feeling that frequency, feeling that embodiment. Know that you get to choose who you are in every now moment. You get to choose how you show up and embody your power, your divinity in every now moment. Know that this power is within, that this choice is always available to you. And at any time you feel shaken or rattled, come back into this vision, come back into this frequency, this aspect of your multidimensional self that stands in their power, that stands and emanates love so effortlessly. And today we plant this seed for this aspect of you to fully bloom in the highest embodiment in 2022. Just take a moment and just really feel the power of this moment, of this choice, of this embodiment. So beautiful. And we will be tuning into that aspect of you a little bit more in our full meditation. But for now, just a little bit more about how to work with this energy. So the solstice energy, while today is the peak of the solstice and we now move into generating more light, this is just a time, a period, the winter, right? where you can surrender into the darkness, surrender into the nooks and the crannies of the self, and just to explore the unknown of the self. And so in the darkness, the truest self is revealed. So it's in those times of darkness where, in those times of yin and nurturance and surrendering, where you really start seeing past timelines or seeing past storylines that need releasing. And you also see the polar aspect of the highest self, of that pure crystalline light that you embody, that it has no identification, that has no story, that has no wounds. So you see that in the darkness, you see the purity of your being, right? There's no distraction of other reflections and other light floating around. In the darkness, you can get intimate with that true, pure soul frequency that you embody. And it's that spark that is you, right? Everything else is a story of the ego. So in the darkness, you can get intimate with like, I'm just a firecracker. I'm just a sparkler. Everything else is just what my ego is, like flavor of the week for my ego. So in the darkness, you see the truest aspect of you, which is pure light. All of us, no matter, every single person, every single sentient being, that spark of crystalline light is the truest essence of you. All right. So the more we alchemize, the more we get intimate with the dark aspects of us, of shadow work, the more we can embody light into our experience. So we touched upon this, and trust that however you're receiving this information is divinely guided for you. Like, I'm repeating a lot of myself just because trust the process of how you receive and integrate information. So again, the more aspects of you that you've maybe pushed away, or didn't want to look at, or didn't want to express or heal, the more you do that work, the more you have space to embody light. It's just how it works. We live in this polar place that we balance by working on our light and working with our shadow. So it's a beautiful dance of alchemy between light and dark. So now, since we are in the peak of the portal of the solstice of this time of year, now we are moving into the time of year where more light is generated into our experience. So we can harness this shift into how we choose to show up, how we choose to anchor light into this earth plane. So take moments tonight to really visualize and to really journal on how you see yourself anchoring in the light. How do you see yourself utilizing the gifts, utilizing all that you've been given in this incarnation to anchor in more light, to anchor in more prosperity, to anchor in more abundance, just to anchor in more happiness and joy? We've been living the last 2 years kind of in like, in a weird paradigm. So how do you choose to step out of this paradigm and to really shine and to really, really create a new paradigm of you? Right? So we're in this portal of creation. We're in this womb, this cosmic womb right now. And you get to choose how you show up on the other side. For in the darkness, we learn how to be a beacon of light. So we learn how to hold that soul spark frequency that we all embody, that pure, pure light. All right. And now for my personal favorite part of the ceremony, our beautiful meditation. So if anyone needs to use the restroom, we will give just like a 2-minute break. I definitely, you want to be comfortable. So if you have to use the restroom, go ahead. And in the meantime, I'm going to check out these comments and just share a little bit. I felt a huge block in my creativity and felt so tired most of the year. It's as if I needed to rest from all the past through experiences. Absolutely. This year was such a recalibration phase. Like whether you were super productive or not, like I know for me it wasn't as much of a productive year. It was more of a like rest and recalibration year. So I totally feel you. And Madeline said the same, feeling as far as tired and creativity. I feel like the last 2 years have been a shock to the system. And now in 2022, I feel ready to move on and be connected to that creativity and expression more. So beautiful. Yes to creativity, yes to expression, yes to utilizing your gifts. 2022 is going to be the best. 2022 will be a year of quantum leaps. Yes, Patsy, I see you. All right, love. So let's journey into our meditation. This meditation is going to be around 15 minutes-ish. We'll see, we flow. So definitely be comfortable. I always recommend sitting up for meditation, but if you feel a call to lay down and surrender into this space, I definitely empower you to do so. Okay. Beautiful. So taking a deep breath in, coming into the space, allowing the mind to still. Exhaling all of the stale and stagnant energy and air out of your being. Taking a deep, deep inhale in. And exhaling, releasing. We're going to take a few more breaths like this just to ground and come into this space. Taking an inhale in. Holding at the top. Taking a few more sips of air in. And exhale, release, letting all of the muscles and all of the tension release out of your body. Allowing yourself to fully surrender into this moment. Taking another inhale in. Holding at the top. And exhaling, releasing. Letting go of all the stories, of all the programs, of all the things that do not serve your highest good. Allowing them to be released in the darkness, to be alchemized in their own space and in their own time. Taking an inhale in. Holding at the top, feeling the nurturance of the darkness. And exhaling, releasing anything that does not serve into the dark. Taking a moment to tune into your root chakra, the base of the spine, feeling so grounded, so held in this moment. Allow yourself to truly surrender into this now moment, to let the mind still, to let the body ease, and to arrive here in this now moment. Taking a deep breath in, breathing into your chest, breathing into your heart chakra, feeling the expansion of the unconditional love you are ushering into your experience, into yourself, into your multidimensional self. Feel your heart expand. Feeling so held, feeling so loved. Know that you are so deeply loved. Every aspect of you, every fractal of you, every expression of you is so deeply loved. Taking a moment and begin to tune into the beautiful column of light, that spark of pure crystalline frequency that is within you. Feel the spark of light emanating out of your heart, just like a sparkler emanating the most beautiful light. And taking a moment, breathing into the root chakra. As you exhale, envision a column of light activating within your body, within your being, connecting you to the cosmos and giving yourself a channel to shine that pure crystalline light that resides in your heart. See this channel activating within you as you connect to Source, as you connect to the cosmos. And allow your frequency to rise. Allow your consciousness to rise, encompassing and holding this beautiful spark of light. Allow your consciousness to rise into the cosmos. Breathing in, exhaling, release. Allow yourself to rise, and with every breath, releasing a layer, an aspect, a story of you that does not serve, that is no longer the embodiment of the truest you. And as we rise in frequency, see the layers peel away just like petals of a rose. And knowing that that spark of light is in the center of the rose, that is you, blooming in the darkness. And allow yourself to rise, to release, and envision each story, each limiting belief to fall away from the self like a petal falling away from the rose. Feeling weightless, rising in frequency, rising in purity. And in these moments, feel so encompassed, feel so supported in the womb, in the void, in the darkness, feeling weightless, fully surrendered into the great I am, feeling fully surrendered in the embodiment of that crystalline spark that resides in the center of your heart. And in this space, within the cosmic womb, within the void, begin to see the spark of creativity, of creative creation, of magic, of source frequency shining. No more walls, no more layers, no more stories, just pure light, dancing with itself, shining. And as you visualize this beautiful spark of creation, of source frequency that is you, see these lights sparkle and radiate into the darkness. Each spark that emanates out of this beautiful light, creating beautiful worlds of unconditional love. Seeing the power of your light. See how the light dances with itself, creating more light. How free it is to express itself. And see how the more this light expresses its true soul frequency, the more light it emanates, the more it grows. Taking a deep breath in, feeling the chest expand, feeling the purity of this light. Placing the hands over the heart, feeling how this light is always within your heart. This powerful source of energy, of creativity, of purity is always dancing within you. Taking a breath into the heart space, emanating this beautiful light into your surroundings, into all of the beings that have gathered here today, into all of the beings in the seen and unseen realms, to your family, to your friends. Take a moment to breathe into this space, fueling up the embodiment of this spark, of this light that is always within, that is always fueling your creativity, your connection to the divine. Take a moment to feel how powerful the light is within you, how powerful the creative energy is within you. Feel how contagious your light is, and know that the more you express your unique soul frequency, your creativity, your magic, the more you inspire and seed light upon this earth plane. And take a moment to thank the self, to say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I will never neglect the light that I have. I will always hold it and foster it and share it. I will honor the unfolding rose within me, to surrender the petals, the dark parts, the shadows, the stories, so the light can always shine. And in this moment, feel the power, the purity of you standing tall in the embodiment of this spark of light. See this spark of light emanating out of your heart, out of every pore of your being. See yourself as this beautiful beacon here on the earth plane, here for everyone to see, to be inspired by. See how when you radiate your light, you inspire others to breathe from the heart space and to activate their spark as well. And just see yourself emanating this light so authentically, so fearlessly, so embodied in your power. Taking an inhale into the heart space, feeling the presence. As you exhale, allow yourself to radiate that light. Know that you came here at this time to radiate that light, to stand tall in that light, to usher in waves of light onto the earth plane, into the darkness, into the places that need to be seen and loved, into the beings that need to be seen and loved. And know that the more you embody your light, the more we elevate this paradigm into a more unconditionally loving paradigm. Taking an inhale in, keeping the hands on the heart. Taking a moment to just tune into the self, thanking the self. And then take a moment and just rub the hands together, creating some warmth, creating some friction, creating some more sparks of energy within the palms of your hand. And let's all send each other some beautiful love and light, holding them up. Know that you are always so loved. And taking another moment to rub the hands together and to give back to the self, to give back to your heart, to fuel up that beautiful spark that is within you always. Thank you all for joining. take time tonight to drink a lot of water, to nurture the self, to come back into body. We just went through a beautiful activation, very nurturing. But just remember to further nurture yourself. And for those, feel free to share your experience. I will read them aloud. And for those who feel the call to usher in more magic in 2022, we have two options for further exploration: to work one-on-one, to work together. So I'm hosting a retreat in January in Joshua Tree. And this is a 3-day immersive retreat all about quantum manifestation, stepping into your power, liberating your channel, your multidimensionality. I rented a villa in Joshua Tree. We'll be communicating with our star family and the invisible realm, and it's going to be a very powerful gathering. So if you're interested in that, please DM me on Instagram or send me an email and I will send you more information. And then also I'm offering a new moon manifestation ceremony on January 2nd. And for everyone who joined this, I'm going to give 50% off. So it'll just be $11 for that. It'll be something similar, a little bit more of a ritual based rather than a mastermind workshop. So if you're interested in that, I will be sending the link with the replay. I'll also add it to the chat. So you can get access to this promo code. And I will be sending out the replay, which you can have access to always. And I'm always here if you want to check in, if you want to share your experience. I would love to hear how this meditation and how this ceremony worked with you. Happy solstice. It's an honor to be on Earth with you all at this time. Oh, we're really doing it, guys. We're creating new paradigms every day. All right. Well, thank you all. I'm sending you all so much love. May you have the most beautiful holiday season. And hopefully I will see some of you in our new moon ceremony. If not, in Joshua Tree. If you want to learn more about either, just message me. Always here for you guys. Can I take a picture of you all, beautiful beings? All right. Yay. Oh, thank you. Again, happy solstice. Oh, you're all so cute. I just kind of want to sit here and look at you all for a hot second. It's so nice to be in this space off of the Instagram or those sort of portals and connect more intimately with you all. So thank you for joining. We'll do some more of these free ceremonies in 2022. They're so beautiful, and I love to connect with all of you. Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your solstice, and I'll talk to you all soon.